In this lesson, we will learn how to publish a very low-cost website with our own custom domain name to the cloud that is fast and secure and can grow with our business as our business needs grow. What we will learn here will give us the base for any website we want to publish going forward. This lesson is intended for web developers or consultants who are building their own websites or websites for their customers, beginners who want to learn how to build a website and publish it, business owners, and anyone else who wants a website. You don't need any prior website development knowledge to benefit from this lesson. We'll teach you everything you need to know. Publishing our website will involve 5 simple steps. The first step is to set up storage for our website. We'll store the files and folders that we'll use for our website. The next step is to upload those files and folders. Then we'll add a custom domain name for our website, and then we'll add a www alias so that way they can type in our domain and also add www to the front of it, and then we'll make our website fast and secure. To accomplish this, we use Amazon Web Services from Amazon.com. The services we will use are S3, Route 53, Certificate Manager, and CloudFront. We'll explain what these are in a moment. AWS is the market-leading cloud service from Amazon.com and allows us to run our websites and services on the same infrastructure they use for their multi-billion-dollar online business. Some of the benefits of AWS we'll take advantage of here in this lesson are its lower cost. It's a pay-as-you-go service, so we only pay for what we use. It's easy to use and very well documented. And we get to run on Amazon's infrastructure, which will allow our website to grow as the needs of our business grows. Amazon S3 is a very low-cost, simple storage service built to store and retrieve any amount of data anytime from anywhere on the web. You create S3 buckets to store your data for your website, and then it's accessible on the internet. Think of an S3 bucket as a folder on your computer that's hosted in the cloud. For this lesson, we will store all of the files and folders for our website in an S3 bucket. To learn more about Amazon S3, go to aws.amazon.com/S3. Amazon Route 53 is a domain name system that translates domain names like www.example.com to an IP address that computers use to offer services over the internet. For this lesson, we will use Route 53 to route users of our website to the S3 bucket that stores the files for our website. To learn more about Amazon Route 53, go to aws.amazon.com/Route53. Amazon Certificate Manager is an easy-to-use service that allows us to create an SSL certificate so the lock appears on our website. This assures the users that we're sending their data securely over the internet. For this lesson, we will use Certificate Manager to create our SSL certificate that will be used to allow secure access to the files for our website. To learn more about Amazon Certificate Manager, go to aws.amazon.com/certificate-manager. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network that distributes our content to servers all around the world, making our website appear much faster because our content is closer to our users. For this lesson, we will use CloudFront to make our website fast, and CloudFront will sit in front of our S3 bucket and provide secure access using the SSL certificate we will create using the Certificate Manager. To learn more about Amazon CloudFront, go to aws.amazon.com/CloudFront. Okay, let's get started. The first step will be to create an AWS account if you don't already have one. And then from there, we'll access the AWS Management Console. To go to AWS, let's search using Google AWS. And we see Amazon Web Services. We'll go ahead and click on that link. And if we don't have an AWS account already, there's a big orange button on the top right. I have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my account and then access the console. Next, we're going to set up the storage for our website. First, we're going to create an S3 bucket. Then we're going to configure the S3 bucket to host our files as a website. Then we're going to configure the S3 bucket permissions for public access. In the AWS Management Console, we're going to search for the S3 service. So we type S3, click on that, and then we have our buckets displayed. So let's go ahead and create a new bucket, and there's a big orange button for that at the top right. And let's give the bucket the name of our website. So we have a domain already. It's everybodyelses.com, and that's going to be the name of our bucket. We'll leave the defaults there. We're going to change this a little bit later. And let's just go ahead and create our bucket. Okay, our bucket is created. Then we're going to click on our bucket, and we're going to make a few changes. So first, we're going to go into properties, and we're going to turn our bucket into a website. So static website hosting is what we click on. You'll see that we have a URL there already. That's not our custom one, but that's the one we'll use. And then we'll say, use this bucket to host a website. We'll use index.html as the default file to serve up. And then we'll accept the rest of the defaults and hit save. Then we'll go up to permissions, and we're going to go ahead and change something there. We're going to allow public access to our bucket. Now that's kind of dangerous, and they're going to warn us about that. So we'll go ahead and save that. And what we're going to do is once we allow public access, we're not going to allow anyone to change our data or push more information to our data. We're going to go ahead and only allow them to read it. So here we confirm that we want to do this. So now it's telling us it's public. Okay, now we go to the bucket policy, and this is where we're going to restrict access to read only. So we're going to need this ARN is what it's called, and that's our unique name for our bucket. And then we're going to go to the policy generator, and we're going to generate an S3 policy. So we'll pick that there. It's a bucket policy. And then for the principal, we're going to put star, which means anybody. So anyone's going to be able to read the files on our website. And then get object is the permission we need to allow it to just read. It won't be able to write or change our data. And then we're going to paste that ARN in here, and then we're going to put /star to allow them to access any files inside of our bucket, read only. And then once we generate the policy, we can copy it. So let's go ahead and highlight it all and copy. And then we'll close that dialog and then go back to our S3 management console. And we'll paste that right in here. And then when we save this, we'll get another warning. And there it is. This bucket has public access, but we're only allowing read-only, so we're okay. Next, we're going to upload files and folders for our website. I don't have a website ready yet, so I'm going to download a website template. Then I'm going to upload the website files and folders to our S3 bucket. All right, from here, we're going to go back to our S3 bucket using the Overview tab. And here we are, and we're going to upload the content here with the Upload button. Then I'm going to find a website template that I want to use. So let's go ahead and go to Free Bootstrap Themes is a good place to go. And I'll go ahead and access that site and then look for a template that I want to use. So they have many website templates and themes to choose from. We want to, or at least I want to, make a website that's going to capture email addresses. So I'm going to pick a template that looks like that. So here's one here that looks good. So it's a landing page that captures an email address. So let's go ahead and download that. And that'll come down to our computer. And when it does, I'll expand it. And then I'll copy those files to the S3 bucket. So I'll select them all. And then just drag it in. Depending on how big your website is, this could take a few minutes. I'm going to accept the defaults by nexting through all those pages, and then I'll hit upload. Now our website is being published. Okay, all done. Okay, let's see if our website is up and running. So we'll go to Static Website Hosting, and then we'll go ahead and click on the address there, which is our website. And there's the landing page that we downloaded. And it's all up and running on the cloud. Now we're going to add a custom domain for our website. We're going to use Route 53 to create a hosted zone for our domain URL, and then we're going to point that domain to our S3 bucket. If you don't already have a domain name, it's pretty easy to create one. So we'll go ahead and use Route 53 to do this. And there's Route 53. And you'll see on the far right, there's domain registration, and that's where we can see the list of our domains. Conveniently, they've placed registration up front as well, so we can do it in both places. So let's go ahead and type in anything. Let's just see what's here, anyone else's. And if I go ahead and type in .com, it automatically switches to the other side there. And let's do a check to see if it exists. Okay, it's available, so we can get it. And we just go ahead and add it to our cart and then do the normal checkout process from here. And that's it. So this is what we want to replace. So you see everybodyelses.com, which is our domain name, and then we've got all this S3 stuff at the end. We don't want that. Our users should be able to go to everybodyelses.com. So let's go ahead and navigate to the Route 53 service, and we could search for that here. Okay, and I've already created a hosted zone. So if you click on hosted zones here, that's our list, and you can see the button at the top that says create hosted zone. I've already done that, and so I've created one for everybodyelses.com. And there's just 2 records that it creates, so it's pretty simple to make one. So first thing I'm going to do is create a record set, leave it blank there, so it's just everybodyelses.com. I'm going to keep the type as A, and then I want to make an alias that points to my S3 bucket, and it's got to be the one that says website there. So then I'll hit create, and that record's been created. So now when we type in everybodyelses.com, it's going to go to the files in our S3 bucket, and that'll be our website. So let's go ahead and test that out. So now we've got everybodyelses.com, and there's our website again. Sometimes users think of our website as www something. So we want to go ahead and make a www alias for our website. So we're going to create an S3 bucket that's going to point to our website S3 bucket. And then we'll create a domain alias for www everybodyelses.com for our example. Okay, so let's try that out. Let's put in www in front of this and see what happens. So if a user does this, they're going to get that, and this is not what we want. So let's go ahead and fix that. We want to allow them to type in www.everybodyelses.com. So let's go and create an S3 bucket that's going to help us out with that. So let's go back to our S3 service. And here we're going to create a new bucket, and we're going to call it www.everybodyelses.com. And we'll leave the defaults the same, nothing to change here. And then we'll go ahead and create our bucket. Okay, now with our bucket created, we're going to make one small change. You can see our bucket is empty. So let's go to Properties, and we'll go back to Static Website Hosting, and this time we're going to pick Redirect Requests. So we'll pick that one, and then we'll refer it to our domain address, which is everybodyelses.com. That way, when this bucket is accessed as www, it'll go ahead and forward to the everybodyelses.com address. Okay, now let's go back to Route 53 and add our www alias to our hosted zone. So let's go ahead and add another one of these records. So we can go ahead and do a create record, and this time we're going to put www in the name. We're going to leave it as an A record, and then we're going to click alias, and then we're going to go ahead and pick the S3 bucket with www in front of it, and then we'll create that. Okay, let's see if that worked. www.everybodyelses.com now redirects to everybodyelses.com. Okay, now let's make our website secure. We're going to create an SSL/TLS certificate using the Certificate Manager. Then we're going to create a CloudFront distribution for fast, secure access to our website. Okay, you see how it says not secure here? If we're collecting data of any kind from our users, we want to go ahead and make this website secure. So let's go over to the Certificate Manager, and so we'll search for that. And then let's go ahead and provision a new certificate. We're going to request a public certificate. And then we're going to enter our domain names here. So the first one is everybodyelses.com. And then we'll go ahead and add another name. And this will be www.everybodyelses.com. We'll click the next button to continue. And then we want DNS validation. There's a couple ways to validate. This is the easiest way. We hit next there. If we want to add tags, I don't really do that. And so this is the review. Let's go ahead and continue. And then we're going to add validation. So the nice thing about doing this all on AWS is it can automatically set up these records. Otherwise, we'd have to do this manually in whatever register we're using. So really all you have to do is just copy and paste these, and it gives you the instructions there. But what's nice about doing it all in AWS is we can just go ahead and click this blue button here, and it'll create the record for us. And so we do one for each. So one for the regular everybodyelses.com, and now one for the www version. So we just go ahead and create there, and now Amazon will take care of the rest, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, then we wait. This could take a few minutes, so we'll just wait, and then when it changes status, then we'll be able to use our certificate. Sometimes I hit the refresh button. Okay, and now it's done. So this certificate has been issued. And of course I sped that up. It usually takes longer than that. So then we're going to services, and let's go ahead and go to CloudFront, and we're going to use that certificate there. So CloudFront's going to sit in front of our S3 bucket, and it's going to make it fast, and it's going to make it secure. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll create a distribution. And web distribution is really all we care about. The other one's being phased out down below. And so let's hit get started. Okay, now we want our domain name here. Now this isn't the one we want. We actually want it to point to our website. So neither of these are going to work for us. We're going to have to go to our S3 bucket to go get our website domain. So let's go back to S3. And we want the everybodyelses.com domain S3 bucket. So let's go ahead and go to properties, and then static website hosting, and let's go ahead and copy the domain part of the URL. So the part minus http://. We want the rest of it though. So we're going to paste that in here. And don't worry about the origin path. And then origin ID will be automatically created by AWS. Okay, we want our website to be secure only. So we're going to go ahead and redirect anyone who comes in without secure right to secure. So that's all we want is secure. And then here, this is set for a day worth of caching. We want an hour since our website's kind of new and might want to make changes, and we want them to show up within a decent amount of time. And once your website's established, then a day is fine, but let's make it an hour, so if we make a change, it'll show up. When it's new, we're going to make a lot of changes to our website. Okay, and then here, this one's pretty important. You want to put your domain names in here, otherwise it won't work. And we'll put them both. And then down below for our SSL certificate, we're now going to use our own, which is right there, and we'll select it. And then from here, we just select the defaults and create distribution. Now this also takes quite a while to do, probably at least 15 minutes. So I've sped that up, and so it says deployed, but it really took a lot longer than that. Sometimes it's quick, but 15 minutes is probably what you can expect, and then if it happens sooner than that, that's great. Okay, now that it's deployed, we'll go ahead and click here, and we'll need to grab the URL for our CloudFront distribution. So here's all the properties here that we set, and then there's the domain name right here. We're going to copy that, and then we're going to test this out. So we'll just copy this and paste it into a browser tab, and let's see if our website shows up. Okay, there's our website, so that's all working. And there's a lock, and it's secure. However, that domain name is not what we want. How would we be able to tell anyone what our website is with that? And also, if we look at the certificate closely, while it's secure, we'll see that it's actually going to not our company name. So that's not really providing assurance to anyone here. All right, so let's go ahead and hook up our custom domain. So we'll go back to the hosted zone in Route 53, and let's go to everybodyelses.com. And then for the A record, we're going to go ahead and pick that one without www. And then we're going to change the alias target to the CloudFront URL. And it's nicely in the list, so we could go ahead and hit save record there. Now when we access everybodyelses.com, let's see what happens. Now this can also take a little while to propagate. It's supposed to propagate within a minute, but it could take a little bit longer. We're going to leave the www record alone. We'll just let that one forward to the S3 bucket, and then it'll forward to our regular website. So let's go ahead and test that out. And it works. So there's our website, there's the lock, and so it's secure. And let's go ahead and look at the certificate. Now we see everybodyelses.com is who the certificate is for, and then we'll see the company name there. And there we have it. Okay, when we no longer want our website, we're going to want to tear it down so we're not charged for a website that nobody's using anymore. To do that, we're going to delete our resources in reverse order. So we're going to disable and delete the CloudFront distribution, then our SSL certificate, then our Route 53 records, then our S3 buckets. Okay, back in the management console, we're going to go to our CloudFront distribution. It's right there. And then we're going to click that button, and then we're going to disable it. So for CloudFront, what you're going to do is disable it first, and then once it's done disabling, so it's got to go out through all the servers in the world and disable everything. It could take up to 15 minutes. I've sped this up. And then once that's done, we can delete the distribution. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and take a look at Route 53. So we can delete our records here. So we want to delete the A record. I'm going to leave those two because I'm going to actually do this again and I want this website. And you can't really delete those records unless you delete the whole hosted zone, and then it takes days to get it back. So if you want to keep your website and you're just practicing, don't delete these two records. Okay, so like I said, I don't want to delete the hosted zone because I want to keep this one. All right, now let's go ahead and go to our S3 buckets, and we can delete those too. Now this is all happening while CloudFront is disabling. So just to speed up the process a little bit. So we're going to delete both of these buckets. So just checking the box, and we'll delete. So the first one is the redirect, and that one's empty already, so we can delete it straight away. And they just want you to confirm that you really want to do this. All right, so now that's gone. Now this one's a little bit more involved. What we have to do is empty the bucket first. So then we confirm that. And now that it's empty, we'll go ahead and delete it. Okay, all gone. Let's go check and see how that CloudFront distribution is doing. But first, let's check out Certificate Manager. So there's our certificate that's issued. We won't be able to delete this. Let's go ahead and see what happens if we try. So it says it's in use. So CloudFront is using that certificate, and it's not done disabling yet. So we can't delete the certificate until we go to CloudFront and wait for it to be done using that certificate. So we're going to wait for it here, and I hit refresh a few times, and you see the status change to deployed. So that means it's all done. It's disabled now, and that's in disabled status. So now let's go ahead and check that box, and now we're going to delete this distribution, and this is fast. So you just hit yes, and it'll be gone. Now we can go back and delete our certificate. Check the box here, and then delete. And that's it. Thanks for watching.